Hello there, Cancer, and welcome to your monthly forecast. This is for the month of November, and as always, you can use this for your sun sign, your rising, and also for your moon. I'd like to start off and just say thank you for being patient. As you know, I was recovering from some injuries last month. I'm feeling much better in mind, body, and spirit, and it really means a lot that you guys were patient as I took time to recover. Just a quick note that if you like what you see here and you would like to give back, a great way to do that is to join me on Patreon, or you can stop by my website and donate if that's something you would like. That directly goes into buying materials and also setting aside the time it takes to do the videos. You can also support the videos simply by liking and subscribing or sharing it across your social media networks. So in advance, I'd just like to thank you for doing any of these things. Now let's get into the reason that you all came. Let's take a look at your November forecast. As you know, each and every month I like to begin with channeled information. I arrive at this by selecting a deck of cards that I'm going to use for your sign. I meditate and I see what comes through. When I did this, I got the image of someone working the earth, like they were planting or gardening or putting a seed in the earth. And my message as I was kind of getting this image was, don't be afraid this month to roll up your sleeves and get your hands dirty. Or more specifically, I said, get to work on any projects or goals that you've kind of been putting back on the side burner. This is the month to really start to create some traction and to see some activity in that area. And this is a message that I've been seeing interspersed in other signs as well, but in yours in particular, it was more about taking that step and really making it happen on your side. Because for the universe to kind of react, we have to at least let it know that we're ready, and that's what I'm seeing this month for you. All right, let's go ahead and shuffle the cards. At this point, I like to remain quiet just until I pull the Celtic cross out. After that, I'll rejoin you and we'll look at each card and talk about what the month is bringing forward. I also expand the forecast after this to include health, wealth, love, and destiny. Now, I also combine a card that I call the Catalyst here. This additional card helps us see, I should say, connections between everything that's already in front of us. It also kind of highlights what you can focus on to really get the most out of the month. Your Catalyst this month is Illumination. Now, this card came through in the reverse position. Let's go ahead and turn it around just so that we can take in the imagery here. And what I'm looking at when I see this is two messages primarily. The first is everything starts out small. Inspiration begins as a spark. Every task you have to at least sort of like put that pen to paper and begin before you can see where it's going. So getting back to that channeled information, this is your month to spark, to plant a seed, to work through something and trust that it will grow from this. And the other thing is, you may have some challenges this month where people are either putting some sort of a fog around you so that you can't see what's going on, or you might be challenged to give up. And when I look at that candle, that's about holding yourself to the light or holding inspiration, even in moments of challenge or in moments of drama or sadness or despair. So you are going to either be that light for someone else, or you might need to seek out the light in your life so that you can continue to honor your higher self and these goals and dreams that I was picking up on in the channeled information. Let's now look at the month piece by piece and get a better understanding of the positives and also the challenges that are ahead for you. The center card, Five of Cups. This card is really interesting because it shows that balance between light and dark that I was just talking about. And there's always an opportunity with the Five of Cups to embrace one side or the other. And I think for you this month that it is a time when partnerships, friendships, another point of view, it's going to be really helpful for you. In many situations, it may validate some of your hopes, not necessarily your fears. And someone may be able to check some of the insecurities or the doubts that you have. So try to, again, couple up these two cards here, find the light, look at the light side of things, and then work through whatever challenges you have with the help of someone else. So don't be afraid to ask for a helping hand. On the bright side of this, we have a card that modifies the center card here, the High Priestess. This is showing not only strength, but an increase in your own ability to be intuitive, your ability to see things. See not just on a physical plane, but a metaphysical plane. So for those of you that work in creative industries, whether it's working with your hands, I mentioned, it could be something like pottery or ceramics or sculpting, or maybe even something more industrial like working as an architect or building cars and an engineer sort of profession. You're going to have a lot of energy and inspiration this month. Try to find a way to channel that. Maybe if you're working in a team, you can also find a way to bring one of those ideas to light, and that's really what we're seeing again with that candle card. As we look at what's tempering this and maybe possibly causing some friction, this is in the deep past, we have the Five of Swords. Five of Swords is a card where you have to get to work. It's interesting that they chose earthworms here, because that's actually a sign of good soil, and I was talking about soil earlier, fertility. But you have to work through it, and that's kind of what we're seeing a combination of here, needing to break through things. So there are possibly some internal things, habits that you might have formed, or ways of thinking that you might have sort of latched onto, that in and of themselves, they're sort of holding you back. So I want you to break them down, break them apart, and find what's worth keeping and allow for that to move you forward. The other thing, when I look at an earthworm, anything like that, like a slug or an earthworm or a snail, turtle, they're all wonderful creatures, but they move at a pace that's sometimes frustrating, not as fast as you want. So what I look at when we're kind of in respect to November and then looking at October, some of you may have felt like things were languishing or pulling you back a little bit over the course of October. You should feel getting out of the gate already that things are starting to pick up this month. However, it's really important. We have the Ten of Swords here. This month, I want you to take some time to honor your body. And having just come through some sickness myself, an injury, nothing is better than rest. And don't be afraid, for those of you that have been working yourself sort of into a state of exhaustion, I should say, to really take some time off and rest, recuperate, look at your diet. Ten of Swords also has to do with chronic issues in the body, chronic pain, neck and back. Can also be chronic illnesses that have sort of flared up. Even if there are things that you can keep under control, what I'm seeing is a possibility this month for exacerbation or a recurrence of that. So be careful. Do what you can to temper whenever you're deciding to sort of burn the candle at two ends, you need to realize that energy is finite to a degree with our body. Our eternal energy, our soul, all of that, we have a lot more light there, but when it comes to our body, we require a little bit of maintenance. So take care of the maintenance this month and it will take care of you. Your body will be there when you need it. Going back to the idea of your inspiration being high, we have a candle showing illumination and enlightenment. We have the High Priestess at the center, and your crowning card is one Queen of Wands here, or Mother of Wands in this deck. This is a beautiful card for management. So for those of you that are ready and sort of willing to take on a challenge this month, whether it's something at work, something at home, or in your life you've decided you want to learn something new, November is shaping up to be a great month for really widening your perspective, opening up your mind. So please do that and take advantage of that energy. Since that's sitting in the crowning position, this is going to touch everything in your life. If you can get behind it in your mind, your heart will follow. People around you are going to be magnetically pulled into your inspiration and your sort of your idea that you can do it, and you're going to manifest. So just realize your thoughts are very powerful. If you have doubt, if you kind of work in the shadow energy, then you're going to pull situations that mirror that. If instead you channel the light, you're going to attract the light and things are going to move in a positive direction. When I'm looking at your money this month, there is a need for you to feel that you can work through whatever problems or challenges you might have. This often is indicating, we have the Five of Pentacles here, Self-worth is going to be at play this month. How do you feel about yourself? Do you feel like you're ready for a promotion? Do you feel like you're deserving of love? Do you feel like it's time for you to get healthy, be happy? Whatever it is you're trying to turn around, you have to believe that it's okay to receive that. If you can get past that hurdle, the sky's the limit. But for some of you, I do think that it's going to be beneficial for you to either talk to a friend or a professional to help break through some of the in this case, the self-doubts, but there's other boundaries that might be coming up this month, self-imposed or fear-based, and that's going to be the challenge. From a sheer financial point of view, this card, of course, recommends conservative approach towards your money. So save more than you spend, possibly delay large purchases if you can. And if you do have to engage in some sort of a contract or an expenditure that requires a lot of money, make sure that you understand what you're getting into. Do all the math, calculate out good months and bad months so that you can kind of figure out where your money is going to be and make sure that you're not getting in over your head. With respect to your health, this card really encourages you to get moving. Walking, jogging, any sort of activity that engages your lower extremities, particularly your legs, your knees, and your feet. It's really important. Those areas of the body can also be showing up as being inflamed or having circulation issues. So if there's something there that you need to deal with, I mentioned that there was some chronic issues that could be flaring up this month. You want to work with your doctor. Pay attention to your diet. Again, with circulation, you want to make sure that you're not having something that has too much cholesterol or fat. You want to really work at cleansing out your body and moving as much as possible. Now let's move along to the ego this month, showing you where you're at, what you're bringing to the plate. We've looked at a lot of things around you. We have the Queen of Swords in reverse. With this card, it is literally a double-edged sword. On the bright side, it's encouraging you to be direct. Don't hold back. Don't sort of beat around the bush. You want to say what's on your mind because that energy is going to help get you further along, help people understand how to show up for you and what your needs and expectations are. So the positive aspect of Queen of Swords reverse is that you're basically getting straight to business and cutting out a lot of the games that we all play. Now, the reverse side of this is that you want to pay attention to making sure that you're at least empathizing or understanding the other side. So it's good to be direct. It's important to be empathetic. Finding the balance between the two is going to allow you to be most successful this month. When I'm tuning into this for health, another thing is coming through. Some of you might be suffering from migraines or just feeling blocked in your head space. So what's important there is to either, I feel like for some of you, you need to change up your routine a little bit, get out of the office or not always approach it in the same way. If you take a break, if you have some fun, if you break things up a little bit, the energy starts to loosen up in the crown chakra. And not only is your communication going to improve and probably be more empathetic, which I was talking about, but your ability to see clearly and to trust yourself, your voice is going to come through in a much better way, your vision and your voice. As we look at your environment, we have the Eight of Wands. I really like this illustration because what it's showing you is that it's all about focus. You're going to be able to handle anything that comes your way. This card was reversed, however, which is really encouraging you to pick and choose what's worthy of your time and energy. A lot of times this will be illustrated instead by like a Six of Pentacles card, but this is showing power in exclusion or power in sort of like priority. And so once you've prioritized your to-do list and what is worthy of your resources, time, energy, and money, then you're able to successfully push what's necessary to get that done. Looking at hopes and fears this month, we have the Ace of Wands in reverse, which is encouraging you as you're coming up with these great ideas that we saw with the Queen of Wands to also remain open to feedback, constructive criticism, ideas, concerns from your coworkers, friends, and family, because they are actually there to help you out. And if you stay open and receive it with an open mind and open arms, knowing that you can take it or leave it at the end of the day, then not only are they going to feel validated and appreciated, but you may also have a way to improve upon something that you're trying to do. The month ends with the Chariot card, which is a really great way to kind of wrap things up. This chariot only has one horse, and when I see this, I see sort of the flare of independence that might be coming through for many of you this month, as well as this idea that you might be stepping up or stepping out and being able to take the lead on something. So this is encouraging you to do so, letting you know you have what it takes, reminding you that even though it's unseen, there's probably a second person that's behind all of the scenes this month and helping you out. Remember to say thank you. Remember to allow room for that person because your energy is coming through very prominently this month. I do think you're on track. I think good things are ahead of you as we're looking into December with that card. Just remember that as long as you keep your prioritization in check and you continue to work hard, that energy that you've been creating, this momentum, is going to pick up and your light is going to kind of shine even brighter, like a spotlight instead of that little candle. Let's go ahead now and expand your forecast. I always like to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. As we peer into your health area, just a reminder that this includes your mind, body, and spirit messages. So let's give it a shuffle and see what the information is for your sign. We have healing, and it says healing begins here. So for you, this may be something that you have to explore or initiate. We noticed this woman sort of in a discovery phase, and again, when I pulled this card, it was reversed. The healing especially associated with her heart space as well. So for many of you, I was looking at those illustrations earlier, which I'm going to pull up. We have the Five of Cups, kind of that challenge and tug of war between light and dark. And then also, as we look at the Five of Pentacles, another card showing this, for some of you, the struggle to find more self-worth in your life. Since this card is also centered around the heart, you want to take special care this month to make sure that you're being heart healthy. So I talked about activity, even though I was focusing initially on the extremities, I think that any sort of cardiovascular activity is going to benefit you this month. Check it out with your doctor, see what makes sense for you. But if it all checks out, I think that this would be a really good thing for you to focus on. Also looking at, from a diet perspective, to try to clean things up, detoxify. Looking also at a lot of green vegetables if possible, not so much on the fruit side, but more on the vegetables. So let's go ahead now and take a look at your wealth card. Much like health, there's a few areas within wealth that we'll be looking at. It's not solely money, but it can also be that self-worth that we were talking about earlier. Let's see how that is going to color or affect what's going on with your opportunities this month. So the card itself says Web Weaver, and then it says Synchronicity, Divine Intelligence, Cause and Effect. If we combine this card with what we see here, the Queen of Wands or Mother of Wands, they're really two sides of the same coin here. This is showing you the power of your thoughts, and this is showing you the effect, the cause and effect. I want you to imagine your aura in a different sort of visualization as a web. It doesn't have to be like a spider's web, but it could be sort of this etheric, beautiful, sparkly web that you put around you, where sometimes you're putting things that you want others to see, or you're thinking of them as homing beacons that are bringing in that which you seek. And so if you want to see yourself in a different sort of spectrum of life, like a new title, if you're looking for more money, if you're looking for more opportunities, start to redefine that which you are and put it into this web around you and start to think differently. People will then pick up on the energy that you have, because your thoughts kind of are manifesting, they're broadcasting, but they also get kind of stuck in your aura. So if you start to get, in a good way, stuck on this idea of success or forward momentum, or you start thinking things are okay, things are going to work out, I just have a good feeling about it. People are going to have a good feeling when they talk to you and they engage with you. So in this way, you can think of it either as satellites broadcasting or as this sort of intangibly sort of sticky energy around you where you can put good things and you can attract good things. So that's your power this month with opportunities. They may not yet exist, but the belief that you are working towards them and the understanding, not just the belief, but the understanding that you're deserving of them, makes you much more of a magnet. And that's really what the Web Weaver is talking about. So feel magnetic, feel deserving of the opportunities that are coming your way, and embrace them when they happen. There was also a note about synchronicities. When something just sort of magically happens, you're at the right place at the right time and you get to meet a person that can open a door for you. This could happen for you this month. stay awake, stay aware, and be open to those synchronicities and celebrate them when they happen. Let's look now at your love card. Love is something that is universal, it is eternal, and it doesn't have to do solely with romantic relationships. This month you have the card that says feline, and the first image that I got, or the first sort of message I received, was that you're going to be okay. I think of a cat that can kind of land on its feet no matter what happens. So if you're having some sort of a challenging situation in your love life or in your friendships that feels like it's just the end of the world, this card is reminding you you've got this. And you can come through this being stronger than you did at the beginning of it, or than you feel at the moment right now when you're listening to this. The other thing with this is to just be honest. When I also think of a cat, I think of sneaky. So do the inverse of what you're seeing here, which is just to be honest, be direct. And if someone else seems like they're hinting at something, you could just open up the door for the conversation and say something like, I really feel like we need to talk about this. Is there anything that I can do to improve the situation? Or how do you feel about this? Be the one that opens the door, that pulls the veil back from whatever is going on, and does it in a way of love and support. I think that's important. You're going to be able to navigate that. But remember, you've got it. You're going to land on your feet here. And I think by taking that sort of high road and the upper hand, just say, I'm ready to clear the air with this, then you're going to alleviate, neutralize, and sort of remove whatever challenges exist there. There is something that needs to be healed with respect to relationships, but you have the power this month, especially with the Queen of Swords card and the Chariot. So don't be afraid to be in control. I think this is one area that's going to benefit from that. Let's go ahead now and look at your final card. I call this your destiny. It could also be considered a GPS. This is a good way to have a gut check and think, how do I feel about this month? What do I think about my trajectory? If the answer is that you like them or that you feel good, you can stay on path. There still may be a general message for how to maximize that. The other side is if you're not feeling good, this card could tell you how to turn things around. So with respect to what I just said, let's look at your destiny. The message for destiny this month is that there is a divine hand at work. The card itself says God is in charge, but you can also just think that the universe has your back, or this could simply have the word synchronicities written on it, since we saw that earlier. I really want you to pay attention to how difficult or how easy it is to navigate through certain things in your life. We picked up on the fact that some of the relationships may present issues. Some of you may be having some health or financial problems this month as well. As you're navigating through those challenges, when you find certain avenues or opportunities, are they easy to kind of pull into existence, or do you feel constant friction? If there's constant friction, especially in respect to a relationship, that might be a sign that you're trying to force something that doesn't fit for you. If it's a job and you're constantly feeling like you're going uphill or like a treadmill, you're never getting anywhere, that's also a sign that perhaps it's a one-way course where they're using you but not giving back. There's no reciprocity. So, but when those magical moments present themselves and you have this sort of unavoidable and celebratory opportunity that comes through, also acknowledge that that is a bigger hand at play. The universe, God, whatever you want to call it, something's pushing you forward, and so you want to embrace that. So I always pay attention to the ease or the challenge or the friction that's involved with decisions and movement. A lot of times what you perceive as a setback or a failure is kind of the universe holding you in for a second, saying, wait 5 minutes and then something better will come along. But while we're going through it, we think, oh, I missed this, or why didn't that happen? So that's what I'm receiving, and I got a big crown awakening when I said that. So I think some of you need to hear that it's okay. You haven't failed, you're going to be okay. And if there is some sort of a relationship or opportunity that's falling apart, there's something better down the line. Let's go ahead now and integrate all the messages that we talked about today, and I'll try to bring it into one concise view for you. At the beginning, I was talking about the channeled message. It seems to make a lot more sense now too, which was this is a month to really get your hands dirty, to spark into existence something that you've either been putting on the side burner or maybe just not allowing yourself to dedicate resources towards. This is the month to do it. And equally as important, you have to recognize the limits that are put upon your body, your health, and those sorts of resources in your life. Don't burn the candle at both ends. That's why this card was reversed. Some of you are already there, and we saw that in the Ten of Swords, which we'll talk about in a second. The other part is that sort of dance between light and dark this month. There are going to be challenges that make you sometimes question or wonder if you can make it through this month. You can, but partnership is integral to that success. Let's pull the camera down and we'll take a look at each of the cards and their positions. At the center, again, that dance between light and dark, remembering that there's a lot to celebrate when we looked at that candle or illumination card. Your intuition is coming through extremely strong this month. For many of you, this is going to play a role in creativity or ideation. For the rest of you, it might be actually hinting at things that you need to pay attention to. Deep past, recognizing that this is where some of that breaking up that I saw in my vision is going to happen. You might have been feeling a slowdown, but you're still making progress. Dig into your experiences from the past month. Take that, whatever you need to learn from that, and let the rest go. During this sort of first week of the month, it's really important for you to get proper sleep. Take a day off if you have some time, or a sick day. Use that time to brainstorm. Think about things that are important to you. And it's important this month to pay attention to both finances, self-worth, and self-worth is coupled with your wealth and your health, rather. So I want you to really take some time to look at how much you're spending, how much you're saving, and then look at your body. And in the same respect, think about how it's feeling, what you're doing, and how you're investing in your body. So the resource message this month is to conserve, to basically preserve as well. So taking care of your body, taking care of your money, making sure that it will last. Be direct this month, but also be empathetic. Remember that it's important for you to take all of the things going on in your life and pick the ones that deserve your time and energy the most. Stay open to insights from others. And remember that it's not just you that makes things happen. So remember to say thank you. But also know that you are going to have a chance to step up or to shine this month. Don't be afraid of that. Expanding your forecast. This is a month to begin healing, but realize, just like this person here, you're going to have to be the one that does some of the digging or unveiling. Focusing on heart health, also including more green vegetables in your diet this month. Your thoughts are magnetic. Allow them to be a force that attracts positive things rather than reinforcing negative things. You're going to land on your feet, even if you're challenged this month in relationships. Direct communication is important. Being the one that brings things to light, but in a way that is loving and also direct, is going to be key. There's a bigger hand at work. Look for signs when it comes to how difficult or how easy things are. These are going to be really important in discerning which way to go. That is your reading for the month of November. Always exciting to see what happens with each sign, and I hope this resonated for you. If you have some other things going on in your life that either I didn't touch upon because this is a general reading, or just kind of popped up because life can throw you a curveball, feel free to check out my rates and availability and schedule an appointment if you'd like to talk to me. Otherwise, you can also give back to the channel, as I said earlier, just by a small donation of $1. You can do that on Patreon or through my website. That really helps me in respect to supplies and time, so that I can put more time and energy into making videos like these. Finally, the easiest way to show support, and one that doesn't require anything but a few clicks, is to like and subscribe to this video, and also to join me on social media. The third link below the video is going to be a way to check out all of those platforms that I'm on: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, as well as my newsletter. I'd love for you to join me on all of them. So again, take some time, look at those links, and join me if you can. Finally, and most importantly, I like to end every month with a sense of gratitude. I'm really grateful for all of you just working on yourself, improving, healing. There's really a note of healing that's coming through for you this month. So I want you to not worry so much about how all of this is going to work out, because as we said, you've actually got some help both on a cosmic perspective, also around you. There's at least one person in your life that's really there, maybe behind the scenes, so say thank you to them. But your big message this month was about healing your heart, and also healing parts of your life that you might have just sort of let go of, because I was picking up on that at the beginning. So give yourself time to be nurtured, to be loved, And although I saw, a pair of hands working the dirt, creating something new, realize that can also be a message to work on yourself, to invest in the most important asset and resource, which is your own energy. In doing that, as I say always, you're going to shine brighter, you're going to feel better, you're going to have more to offer, and you're going to make this planet a better place. So keep working on yourself. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of your journey. I wish you much love and light now and always. I'll see you again soon. Bye.